Hello viewers, welcome to the Betikrame Tech YouTube channel. Today I will show you how we can change a medium voltage vacuum circuit breaker in industrial purposes. A breaker which used vacuum as an arc extinction medium is called a vacuum circuit breaker. In this circuit breaker, the fixed and moving contact is enclosed in a permanently sealed vacuum interrupter. The arc is extinct as the contacts are separated in high vacuum. It is mainly used for medium voltage ranging from 11 kV to 33 kV. Some key vacuum circuit breaker advantages include a long service life, efficient arc quenching, compact design, low maintenance requirements, and environmental friendliness. Some key vacuum circuit breaker advantages include a long service life, efficient arc quenching, compact design, low maintenance requirements, and environmental friendliness. In our power plant, one of the vacuum circuit breaker was faulty, and so we procured a new unit and then installed the new unit in our plant. At the time of installation, we took the necessary precaution and maintained the safety. At first, we switched off the breaker to power off the circuit breaker panel. Mechanically, we open the breaker lock by rotating the key, and then we switched off the breaker, and it is showing the rated ampere is 0 as well as voltage is 0, and also earthing is okay. That means the storage ampere is grounded for safety. And then after we opened our mounted circuit breaker from the panel. At first, to test the panel, the new unit we checked and took the unit from our store to our necessary plant, and then see its specification, everything is okay. And then we opened our previously installed vacuum circuit breaker. At first, its control connected cable is open from its mounted pin, and then we took a tray and locked the tray, and its position is maintained, and also its upper and lower adjustment key, we adjusted the tray. For safety operation and to safety handle the circuit breaker, we maintained the necessary works. When the tray is okay, its position is okay, and then we opened the two locks of the circuit breaker, and then opened its contact from inside, and then keep it on the tray. After opening the old unit, we took the circuit breaker on the tray some distance place. This is our breaker connected position. This is our panel, connected panel. Here we will insert the new unit to check that the new unit is okay. This is our new unit. It's mounted some items, accessories are opened. It is uncovered from its packet, and two side there is two arm, and here is a hole. At first we tried to took the breaker on the tray, but its weight is too much high and heavy, and there may any accident. By taking and considering this, we changed our decision. At first we took a decision that we will use another tray, hydraulic tray, that can be down to up or maintain its height. Then we will insert the new circuit breaker on the tray. This is another tray, and we will use this tray to keep the circuit breaker into the base. This is another unit. To check the circuit breaker, we inserted and opened the vacuum circuit breaker. This is somewhat lower rating. We opened two numbers vacuum circuit breakers. Temporarily we measured its contact dia, which one is correct, because here is two numbers circuit breaker used, two different types. One is higher rating and another is different rating. At first we thought that the previous one is okay, but we need to confirm. So again we opened our another circuit breaker and then sure that which one is right one. After finding all things which is not necessary, the circuit breaker is again inserted. I need to say that we procured two number circuit breaker. One is into our store, another is we have taken from store to our control panel. So we are taking to see its configuration as well as its size. So the circuit breaker which is no need, we connected and then locked our panel. Now this is our newly procured circuit breaker. Here we used a pipe to take the load. Also we used a hydraulic tray. At first we press our hydraulic system and then took the breaker somewhat higher position. After that, from the hydraulic jack we will insert the new circuit breaker to our used connecting tray. This is opened old used circuit breaker. and this is the contact. This is to contact. When it is connected and circuit breaker is switched on, then inside this the connection is closed. Here is some board. This is to be opened for properly connecting the circuit breaker. Here is to pin. At first we saw this circuit breaker is plug and play or not, so we observe its connection. Now the circuit breaker height is increased to hand over this to another tray. This is lock position. Inside the panel, this lock will go into its position. Its inside contact. There is LNK system. It is tightly connected. Then after we will took the circuit breaker from our hydraulic tray to manual rotating tray to increase its height position. At first we locked its rotating wheel. With the help of some person, we keep the new circuit breaker onto our tray. Its weight is somewhat higher and there is no facility to connect the circuit breaker by crane or lifting tray. Now the circuit breaker is kept on the proper tray and its lifting jack and arm is opened from its base and the panel is cleaned. Now we will insert the breaker unit into the panel. At first we rotated its direction and then tried to insert the unit into the panel, and we followed that. At the time of inserting the breaker, there is some problem. The breaker is not freely inserted into the panel. Before directly inserting the circuit breaker, we connected its control in cable connection and then switched on its off on switch. We checked the breaker is okay or not. The breaker is acting properly or not. Also we will measure its resistance property. Its contact is normally open, so when we will switch on, then its contact will close, and we will measure by multimeter by checking its resistive value. It is connected. Only inserting the control voltage, we will check the breaker. Normally the breaker is open position, so we will measuring its resistance value. The resistance value is higher, that means the contact is open. Now we will switch on to check the breaker contact, and again we will measure by the multimeter that the resistive value is 0 or not. We saw that for the three contacts the resistive value is 0, and face to face its connection is open, that means everything is okay. Before connecting the high voltage directly, we checked its connection to prevent any fault. After that we switched off. Then we tried to insert the breaker into the panel rightly, but some problem or some dimensional problem, the circuit breaker was not going into its position. So we followed that there is a lock plate and which is not accurately okay. So at first we measured the old one lock plate, and depending on this we somewhat bend the new lock plate and measured this lock plate distance as like a old one. And after doing this we tried to connect this plate to the new circuit breaker and then tried to insert this breaker into the panel, but again the panel was not going to its right position into the panel. So we again opened the lock plate, and on the lock plate there is some hole, bolt hole. So we measured the old plate hole position, and like this we againly centered the hole position on the new plate. That means in our workshop we drilled the hole on the plate. After doing this, the plate is connected to its position to the circuit breaker. When we connect the plate to the circuit breaker, then the circuit breaker lock position is somewhat changed, and then after we tried to insert this breaker into the panel, and depending on this we somewhat changed its lock plate position. After doing all this related lock plate modification works, we connect this plate to the circuit breaker and then tightened the bolt of the circuit breaker, and then again tried to insert the breaker into the panel. Then after we again tried to insert this breaker into the panel, but again there is some obstacle that the breaker is not easily inserting, and we found that where the obstacle, and we tried to clear the position. We saw that the lock plate position is not rightly in its state, and then we tried to clear all these problems, and then again tried, and finally the breaker is inserted into the panel. There is some time to rightly position the breaker into the panel. Here is the lock nut position into the circuit breaker. This lock nut, when we pressed, then it is activated and the breaker contact is inserted into its rightly hold position. Follow this way, and after this the breaker is through its rail. When we pressed some pressure and then it is easier for us to position the breaker unit. To insert this breaker, we tried 3 to 4 times and finally okay. After positioning, we lifted the tray from its breaker state and closed the breaker door. Also, finally we connected its control cable and followed everything is properly connected or not, and saw that everything is okay. This is our installation position, and this is the control cable of the breaker, and then we closed the door and locked the door to check final state of the breaker power supply. After connecting all things, we switched on the breaker and found that it is working. Thanks for watching this video.